is clean and pure and mineralized, but processed has lost the structure essential to water. It comes right back with the golden ratio. Your glassware is all it takes, so get it right. You'll be sharper by day and sleep better at night. GoldenRatioProducts.com.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. Good to have you with us on today's show. We got lots to talk about, including some fun news. It's all about Comic-Con. Everything happened in San Diego over the weekend, and some big news. I know Jesse's been looking at it, getting excited for some fun movie fun. Right, Jesse?
Oh, yes. So, yeah, Comic Con was on the weekend, and oh my God, there was a lot of news, especially from the Marvel panel.
Yeah.
And I gotta say this though, the people who go to these, well, not Comic Cons in general, but San Diego Comic Con, those are a special breed of people.
What do you mean
And
by that? Special breed of people?
I don't know any people that would stand in line. Have you seen the lines for those to get into like the Hall H and stuff?
I'm not gonna lie. The answer is no. I've been there. I remember people in line for the Shannon Doherty to meet her and get her autograph. I remember that line being really long, but it's and I was like, "There's that many people Shannon Doherty like fans?" And I was like, "All right." That's before she got cancer. Way before she got cancer, actually, like in 90. I'm sorry, 2015, 16. So I get it. When you go to San Diego, I almost went, by the way, on Saturday, and I didn't get to go. I was a little upset, but I know a lot of people, they have fun there, right?
Oh yeah. They always have fun. It's a lot of people come together. You're just surprised at how many people love Marvel and just things in general.
Yeah.
You've all walks of life. You're just like, wow. You start talking, and then you end up becoming best friends. But no, the Marvel panel was absolutely amazing. They pretty much fleshed everything out for the next 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So most likely things will change, like always. But the sheer number of movies that they showed that they're gonna make, and then they released the Black Panther Wakanda Forever trailer, and I'm not gonna lie, I watched it a few times. My friend told me to stop because I was dissecting it.
Yeah.
Um, but it was a very emotional trailer because it's just like it's Chadwick. I mean, it's the Black Panther, so it's kind of like sad that we won't be able to see him in this.
Right. Right. Right.
And yeah, it was just I can even hear I can hear it in the background when I was showing Casey, my fiance. I can hear her trying to like tear up. It's a
Yeah.
very emotional trailer.
It is, and you turned me on to it. I got to see it very briefly a moment ago, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of like, oh man, like, uh, it's one thing. Well, when it came out, I think it made a lot of people kind of like pay attention, right? And then it had a whole following. Then it got nominated, and then Chadwick, of course, being just a really nice guy, a really humble guy. You didn't see that coming at all. And then when that happened, it was like, are you kidding me? Now, fast forward, and it's interesting because in the trailer, it looks like the people are taking advantage of, which again, people go, what? They're an advanced civilization. Why would they be taking advantage of? So it's kind of like, okay, what's going on? So some of the people in there, I guess, they're introducing the Atlantean world, right?
Yes, that was actually one of the most exciting parts of that trailer. Is they showed they showed Namor and the Atlanteans and stuff. So they kind of diverged from the comics and they made the Atlanteans like a ancient Mayan civilization. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but you know what? I enjoyed it. The looks of it, it looks absolutely amazing. Just to see, I'm not gonna lie. It's just I thought it would be stupid because people are like, oh, it's dumb or whatever. But you know what? It's I've never seen a Mexican superhero on the screen, so it'll be interesting. And people will be like, yeah, but he's a villain. No, he's more of like a guy who doesn't really care and does his own thing.
He's a villain. He's a pain in the butt. That's all I gotta say. Namor's always like, "I am right, you are wrong." I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty much that is him. He just he does his own thing. He doesn't care about the top side. But you know what? Just to have a Mexican on the big screen in superhero costume, that's actually really big.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's very impactful. I think the soundtrack already is pretty amazing. If you haven't checked out the trailer, it's one of those that I do say go ahead and see. If you can see it at like on the big screen, I will say I saw over the weekend, Jesse. I didn't get to see Jurassic World. I wanted to go see it, but I saw the other movie, and I thought it was pretty cool. Now I will say for those going to the movie theater, you got to be careful, of course. But you know, you got things you just got to take care of. But it was interesting, and I will say, you know, when you go like you know, go when there's not a lot of people, or go when there's a good amount of people. Everybody clapped at the end, okay? And I will say when you see a movie like that, you say, okay, people get it, you know. I know Jesse, you may have seen it.
What movie did you watch?
Which one?
Yeah, what movie did you watch?
I'll give you a guess. It had everything fun, had everything rock, and had everything. Hey, how you doing?
Uh, I don't know what's out in theater right now. Did you watch Love and
Thor.
Thunder?
Thor.
Oh, okay.
Thor. You gotta do the
You did.
Thor.
All right, you did watch it.
Yeah, Thor. You know what I mean? It was fun, man. I loved it. It was amazing. Good film. Of course, had some nice little cameos with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Not long, but you know, it was good to see. And then, of course, Natalie Portman as Lady Thor, right, was pretty amazing. That made sense. I thought it was an interesting tie-in how they did that. I don't give any spoilers on that, but if you can, go see it at the movie theater now while you can, because on the big screen, it's meant to be seen on the big screen. You know, it's very difficult to see that on like a little device. Although I will say, if you have like a VR device, which do you have one, Jesse?
I do not have one yet, but I hope to get one by the end of the year.
Okay, I hope you do too, because I have an idea, Jesse, and I know how you play like, you know, Magic, and I've talked about that at certain like, you know, like Pasadena Comic Odyssey, which I went and I got it wrong. They had one of those like you use your own deck. I thought it was like a sealed event, so I said, oh, whatever. So I withdrew from the tournament. But I was excited to kind of play and kind of test out the virtual world again, because I'll be honest, for the year of 2021, I did not go on the virtual, which I use Vive Cosmos. It's Vive or Vive Cosmos, but it's Vive. And I wanted to get it because I have friends in the arena or the world of VR or virtual, and they have the ability to actually get you kind of in the world and then create content that are for the world of VR. We've had some filmmakers on the show here, you know, talking about VR and what's the future of VR. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go ahead, buckle down, and get it. So I did some research over the last week. I even got my mom in on it and said, okay, try this out. I put her like, do you ever remember the game Myst, M-Y-S-T? Do you remember that? It was like a puzzle game.
Mist. Okay, Mist. Yes, that game caused me so much rage, and and it's
Frustrating
sad.
as all get out, and right?
I enjoy the frustration, and it's sad. Um, but it's pretty much, yeah, they drop you in the world and they don't tell you what to do. So
Yeah, it's like navigating the world of Myst, M-Y-S-T. It's actually a game that came out in the 90s. I had to look at it because I tried it, all right? And I will say the graphics, if you remember, the graphics were really good, right, Jesse? They revitalize it in my head in a really good way on VR, so it looks like you're in the world when you put on, you know, the I call visor or whatever, you know, the headgear. Some people have Oculus, some people have Vive Cosmos, and some have some other ones that have come out in the last few years. But it was so good. I had my mom actually like kind of rest with her head back in what I have as a gaming chair. So I might be doing like a show on that about gaming. But it was so real. It was like touching, like you want to reach out, which they have gloves right now out that you could touch and you could feel surfaces, right? So you could feel hard surfaces or soft surfaces or whatever. If you want to grab an item or touch like a table in front of you, you could do that. Then I tried another game, which was really awesome. Remember Half-Life?
I remember that game very, very vaguely.
Yeah, produced by Valve Entertainment, right? And that game had an add-on like John Wick. So I was able to do like some really cool what do you call it? Like target practice. And I had my mom actually try it out and she did some target practice. Not for long. I just tried it a little and I'm like, "Okay, try this out. See what feel about this." And then it was just really neat and it was like being at a you just gotta try it out. Half-Life, okay? Half-Life Alex. You have to get that, and then you download the add-on, and it's like a John Wick add-on, and it's not a John Wick game. It's just like people kind of modify certain parts of certain games, and they go next level with it. But in VR, the only way to explain it, and I think more people need to get it, is when you put it on. Imagine being transported into a world of something, and it just doesn't make sense. Like when you have a flat screen panel, okay, it's like when you go to the movies. It's one thing to see it on your flat screen if you have like a 50-inch right at home, but it's a whole other thing to see it on the big screen in the movie theater, right? This is even better than that, like 8 times better than that, right? But the thing that I think let me put it this way. I fell asleep like on the beach and like at they call it the home, I guess it's not the home page, but like outside because you see birds, you see butterflies, you just feel like you're in another room, right? Or another place or another whatever you want to call it, not like in your own room. So I actually like just kind of like chill. I didn't even have to play a game and it relaxed me. And then I was doing some research on some other devices as well, and they have this one which actually has a sensor on the front of it. They have other ones that are coming out to the rear. Did you ever see Sword Art Online, Jesse?
Yes, I love that show. I kind of wish we had the technology right now, but without the brain frying.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Sword Art Online is on Netflix, and although it's an anime, it was kind of like a future what if. And what people kind of get when they start putting on a VR device, the graphics are so good you don't get dizzy anymore. I sat in a chair when I was doing some shooting and when I was kind of like in the Mist world. But back to the graphics of the 90s. The 90s can be revitalized on certain games if the graphics are good. Some of the games that are out right now are kind of like really basic and I'm like, what happened? But Mist is a good example of really good texturizing, good like everything put together really nice. And I would even venture to say there's business opportunity there, which is actually in the first book, which is going to be released in a few weeks. That one is like if you had a warehouse or like a mall place. Sometimes you'll see these places where they have like arcades, right? And or like they have all kinds of different things. But I think if you put like 3 or 4 people in a room, like I could imagine you and like 3 other people in the world of Mist trying to figure it out with each other, like on the intercom. You're like, okay, you push this lever. Okay, you push that lever. You know what I mean? And you could do it within a few hours. I think that would be fun gaming. I just want to go up and down in steps. Maybe like a little elevator or something, maybe mod it. And then you could play that. What are you thinking, Jesse?
No, I was thinking a bunch of things you could do with VR. One was escape rooms.
Yes.
A bunch of people and you can do escape room games or something like that. That sounds absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's kind of difficult to get people together, all to meet up in one physical place to do an escape room. So this would actually be a great step in there. And then the other thing was I recently started playing 2 games and they're actually pretty fun where you take control of an animal.
Yeah.
So the first one was Stray, where you take control of a cat that got lost from his friends. So it's your job, you gotta find your way back through this dystopian city. It's a fun, relaxing game. And the other one was, I don't think this would do too well in VR because now that I'm thinking about it, it's actually really crazy. So the game's called Man Eater.
Yeah,
Do you think you know what that's about?
I have
You
no
know,
idea other than
the game take
a
you
woman who is hungry and wants to eat man. I don't know.
no comment on that. You take the place of like a baby shark. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so you're a baby shark. You eat little fish and you gain experience from all the little fish that you eat, and you gain levels and you get bigger. Okay,
That makes sense.
so there was a point in the game where I got to a certain size, and I'm literally just sitting in the water, looking up at these people that are swimming, and I'm like, should I eat them?
Oh god.
I know. And so I eat them, and then they're running towards the beach. I'm just sitting there. I'm literally just sitting there as a shark, and everyone's running towards the beach. I'm like, why are you running? And then I jump over onto the because like you can literally jump out of the water
Right.
and flop around on the beach and start eating people.
Right.
But it's I don't know. It's funny just to explore the ocean as a shark.
Well,
I
I think
mean,
it's a good idea, actually, Jesse.
minus minus the eating people, but just like experiencing like what it is to be like a shark or any type of animal would be amazing.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Well, okay. So Sword Art Online is a good game. Okay, this is the graphic for Myst, and if you remember this came out in the '80s. I'm sorry, in the '90s. I keep saying the '80s, but it's like an '80s kind of like game, which really did next level. It was a pain in the butt. I remember buying the book to kind of figure out because we didn't have YouTube videos at the time of like how do I get next level with it. It was just a pain in the butt. But I will say this: if you play with somebody that likes like puzzles and or figuring things out, I think it's a good game to actually get for VR. And I think honestly, they did it right. Like you cannot. How do I say? You cannot. It's a good one to even get your head around, but you kind of want to move around in it because if you sit in a chair, it kind of feels like you're in a wheelchair. Not gonna lie, the way it moves, right? So you kind of got to get over that, and then when you get over that, you just get to the puzzle part of it. You go, oh, this is kind of neat. But I think if you did it like in a warehouse, you could actually charge money for it. You just need to get the devices. You need to kind of put it like on a loan program, and then get enough people to try it at $20 a head for an hour each, not like 20 minutes. And there is a thing like that. If you wonder where VR is going, there's a couple places, and not gonna lie, Jesse, I'm like, wow, I think Jesse and I should go to China. There's a place in China which is like a VR world experience. They have so many VR devices and different experiences that are all kind of put together. I think they kind of did a little bit much, and there's some that they could do. Like there's one that kind of looks like Harry Potter but isn't. And then there's a few others, but you kind of get immersed in it. But I think if you do like multiplayer gameplay, you can really have fun with it. Now in Downtown Disney, they actually have probably what I would say the best one to kind of get like your head around. And I know, Jesse, I've been wanting to kind of like have you check it out. It's a fun experience, and it's Star Wars themed, right? But they were supposed to come out with a few others, and then coronavirus hit, and people were like, "What do we do?" Right? And so I will say I'm sure that they're going to invest a little bit more in it. It's kind of a European thing, but it's really fun. And if you check it out, you'll kind of experience it in a whole other way that others have not. It's called The Void VR, Downtown Disney. Go check it out. Oh, it looks like it closed over license agreement breach. Ah, man. Well, if it comes back, try it out. But what they had was really cool because you could actually put on the suit, and then you could see you play as kind of pretend stormtroopers try and infiltrate like the other area with your like if it's with your family or it's with a date of the night or your spouse. You can actually do that, and in the VR, without taking off the goggles, you see each other, so you know exactly where they are in the place. So if you like want to shoot like you would touch the person because you would see them in the VR environment, and then you would shoot at them and be like, "Hey, you're shooting the wrong direction." They're like, "Huh? Okay, like let's shoot in my direction." You know what I mean? So I think if you do that, like with the World of Mist and or Sword Art Online, if they like bring that in a way, I think it would be really good. But back to what Jesse's talking about, he's talking about an implant, which actually some people are saying Elon Musk would probably do. I hope not, because you don't want an implant in your head. Number one, because anything in your head can be hackable, and you don't want your mind hacked. And the game of Sword Art Online, it's kind of like Final Fantasy meet like what happens when somebody hacks the brain, right? And kind of tethers you to the game so you can't get out of it, right? That's a whole other thing. People go, that's sci-fi. I go, it's very possible because they have brain scanning things now, which back to what I was saying earlier, which you can have it as an add-on on the Viva Cosmos, and it actually helps you relax, helps you kind of focus, helps you. I think they need more gaming, and that helps you with your frontal lobe. So in the frontal lobe, they have this scanner, which actually is able to do that. And I will say, I mentioned this to my mom, and this was 4 or 5 years ago at CES. They had this company that was kind of seeing how your brain worked, but what they did was they would put the device on your head, and they modified one of those. Remember those little cat ears that would go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, based on like if you were mad or angry, or you remember? It was like a sensor on the front of your forehead.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, they modified that. They put it to this thing, and you could actually change the channel with your mind. And it was a cool like project. They said, okay, they put on. I did it because I'm like, okay, let me see if I can focus, because I was meditating at the time, trying to focus my my ability to kind of like, okay, focus my mind, be kind of quiet, so I didn't like, sometimes we have a lot of thoughts in our head, which is not a bad idea, but you want to focus. And so I did, and it was kind of like a Dish Network or DirecTV channel lineup. So they're like, okay, move it up. I'm like, okay, and I moved it up, and then they're like, okay, select that one. I'm like, all right, I select that one, and I did it with my mind without like any hand controls or anything. And then I did it again and again and again. I got a little unfocused at one point, so I'm like, it was kind of like up and down. I'm like, no. I like had to like focus, and so anyway. But I was happy to do it. Some people get it in like 10 and 12 minutes. I got it like in less than 2 minutes 30 seconds or so. So I was happy. I think you would actually be pretty focused, Jesse.
I don't know. It'd be fun to try it, but I can just imagine someone behind you with the remote, like.
No, I thought that too, but it was a prototype. And anyway, okay, we got to take a quick little break. We'll be back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Your pharmacy and mobility solutions is now Beaumont Pharmacy with a new location at the Sundance Corporate Center. That's at the corner of Highland Springs and 8th in Suite 110. Of course, they still have Pack Your Meds. No more counting out the pills, dropping them on the floor. Oh, what a mess. And they have a full selection of pharmaceutical CBD. Wheelchairs, over-the-counter meds, you name it, they've got it. So if you're looking for the best and you want the best pharmacy, you go to Beaumont Pharmacy at their new location, 835 North Highland Springs, Beaumont Avenue in Beaumont, California, Suite 110. Give them a call, 951-845-8252.
The Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Banning is distinctively suited for your travel time out of the car. Off the road, you'll find a courteous, welcoming staff in spacious rooms with desks, flat-screen HD TVs, and comfortable furnishings. Enjoy the complimentary breakfast buffet, high-speed internet, and fitness center and pool. The Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Banning, conveniently located off the I-10 near golf, gaming, and entertainment. For reservations and information, call 951-572-5500. That's 951-572-5500, or go online at hiebanning.com.
Express Frame thanks our troops and veterans for everything they've done so fearlessly for us on a daily basis. Send letters or care packages and get blood. Also offer a veteran a job or discount on your local product. It'll be greatly appreciated. That's from Sue and Alex of Express Frame, your complete framing experts with a reputation that precedes them. For more information, call 760-773-9228. Veteran discounts available. That's Express Frame in Palm Desert, the area's best for your framing needs. And they're waving their flags high, saying USA all the way. Join Yvette Walker every Tuesday at 4 o'clock p.m. on KMET ABC News Radio, 1490 AM, FM 98.1, and Internet KMET TV for the Southern California Business Report. The show is dedicated to highlighting successful businesses and the individuals behind them. Yvette interviews the incredible people managing these enterprises that range from awe-inspiring sole proprietors to world-renowned organizations. The Southern California Business Report, Tuesdays at 4 o'clock p.m.
New teen driver in the family? Just bought your first home? Have a new bundle of joy? Every life change matters, and by reviewing your insurance policy with Little & Sons Insurance Services, you could be benefiting with big savings. Little & Sons Insurance Services, a family-owned insurance agency who values the old-fashioned way of doing business. They work for you, not an insurance company, meaning your best interests are at heart. They can custom tailor your policy based on specific needs at a price you can afford. Home, auto, or business, you're covered. Call 1-844-9-LITTLE. That's 1-844-9-LITTLE, or go online to little, the letter N, sons.com. That's littlensons.com.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Let's do some quick little shout-outs here on Facebook. We got Judy Munoz tuning in. We appreciate you. Thank you, Judy, for tuning in. Stephanie says, hello, happy editing this glorious sunshine awesomeness. Busy day ahead for today. Awesome. Love that positivity. Mark Blevins says, good morning. Let's see. Judy's tuning in from her hometown of Rawlins, Wyoming. That's pretty awesome. Pretty cool. Let's see. We've got Erica Rentas tuning in, Jovita Diaz tuning in, and others on LinkedIn and Twitter. Make sure to give us a shout out. We'll give you a shout out if we see your comment. We got Jesse over there. What's going on, Jesse?
Well, I was originally looking for a story to make you cringe or cry or something like that, but I could not find it. I don't know why.
Oh.
I do actually have some type of news. So yesterday on TikTok, oh my God, I'd never seen such a massive line because, oh yeah. So this is about monkeypox.
Oh boy, you would have to.
Yes. Well, I figured you've been talking about it. I'll throw it up in the news anyway. So yeah, the vaccine lines for monkeypox in LA is absolutely crazy.
Oh, it's already here? They had it in New York. It actually, it crashed the whole site because the outbreak was so bad. It's still a bad thing, by the way. I got new numbers on that. It's not positive, I'll tell you that. I wish it were. But, so what happened with LA? I kind of need to know this because I'm like, ah!
No. They started the vaccine process in downtown LA or something like that, and it was just the lines are crazy. So if you're planning to get the vaccine, expect to stay a long time in line.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. And I have, I think we're going to get more news on this, but I will say this. I did some research, and I thought, okay, that's odd. If you look at you know how you like to look at trailers, you go, okay, what's behind the scenes of what they're saying? If you look at the vaccines, it says smallpox and monkeypox. So I'm like, yeah, exactly. So I'm like, wait a minute. Smallpox was a thing of the 50s. And I'm not going to lie, I was talking to someone, they said, oh no, it's been eradicated. I said, no, there's no such thing as eradicated. There's such a thing as a resurgence because it sometimes kind of makes a rebound because the new generation isn't immune, number one. And number two, it tends to morph, or it tends to kind of not stay the same. Like coronavirus, for example, perfect example. The reason it's called coronavirus 19 isn't because it came out in the year 2019. It's actually kind of like the 19th version of coronavirus. If you go back in time, go ahead, Jesse.
No, that actually makes sense. I always figured that it was just because of the year. God.
Yeah, coronavirus has been around for a while. It just mutated so bad that it got out of hand, and it's one that we are not able to fight off like the original coronaviruses, which actually they say is more like a cold virus. So this is a whole other virus, right? Which is why they liken it to the flu, but they shouldn't have, because the people are like, no, it's like the flu. You'll get ahead of it if you get it, and then you'll be fine because your body will create immunity because of certain shots that they expose you to. So back to this. Over the weekend, the World Health Organization declared monkeypox as a really bad global thing. Now, this is the second one that they've said this about. They didn't really call it a pandemic like they did in 2020 with coronavirus. But look where we're at now with coronavirus. If they had not declared it as that, we would probably have more dead than we have now, right? Now, monkeypox. Monkeypox is also a deadly disease, but they're not reporting it as that. They're reporting it as a very painful skin thing, but they're saying in essence there's no immunity for it. Now, did it happen in Africa? Yes. But was it kind of like, in a way, just in Africa? The answer, yes. Now, it's gone out, but it's gone out to such a degree that even though we report like a couple reports in like a week, within 3 to 4 weeks, it amplifies like, some would say anywhere from 20 to 80 times in a lot of people, okay? Because it's on the surface of people. It's not necessarily always in the body. Now, having said that, what do you think of there, Jesse?
No. Just I keep going back to the pictures of monkeypox, and yeah, it's just not pretty.
No, it's bad. Okay, so that's why I say, like, let's say you were on a date and you wanted to see somebody, and they had it not necessarily in their body yet. It's on their body. And what I mean by that is some of the reports are coming in like it's and I said this, be careful of this, because I already had one person over the weekend and he said in essence, oh no, it's a gay thing. And I said, no, it's not. I said anyone can get it. There were 2 children that got it recently that had nothing to do with what your orientation is. It just doesn't. But some reports are coming in like it only affects gay men, and the answer is no, it affects anyone. The community has been very vocal because back to like HIV and or AIDS, they're like, hey, is it that? That was the first thing, right? Now, some people heard about it, saw some reports. Yes, it all, let's put it this way. It can be transmitted through a variety of ways, okay? And this is where we kind of go with good news versus news, all right? If you have, okay, Jesse, do you have any skin allergies by chance?
Skin allergy? Yes. You know what? Yes, I do.
Okay. People with skin allergies are more prone to anything on the surface of the skin, okay? Some people are more allergic, so to speak. They get more rash than other people because their skin is prone. Like, you have very sensitive skin, but you have really good skin. Like, I'm looking at your skin right now, and it's very good, right? Now people go, why are you looking at skin? Honestly, I have some friends that are in the business of skin. They help your skin out, like with like scars or a treatment. There's a bunch of stuff. There's a really good place in OC, which we will be promoting in the next few weeks. But my point is this. Skin is surface, right? Now, if you rub elbows with somebody, we used to do that. I say used to because I don't do it anymore. Because of coronavirus, you're like, oh, let's rub our elbow or our feet together, but I don't want to shake your hand, right? To get coronavirus. Just coronavirus, right?
Who are you rubbing feet with?
Dude, it's a foot thing. It's like, have you never done that? Like a shake? I go, hey, let's shake feet instead of shake hands. You never been to an event and you go, let's shake feet? You never do that? You tap their foot with your foot. It's simple.
No, never.
Well, then don't rub elbows with them, because you know how many people go out and they rub elbows? Okay, my point is this. If they had it on their elbow and you rubbed elbows with them, you especially, Jesse, would get pox. Okay, that's monkeypox. Now, smallpox is different than monkeypox, but it kind of terms as a rash, right? So my point is this, Jesse, back to these vaccines. A, they're going to be sold out. B, you're going to probably be among the first to get it if you have a problem in your body known as blisters. If you have blisters that group up in a certain area, don't touch it, because then it'll spread to your hands, spread to your face, and all over, okay? This is one of those that we're not ahead of, and people need to be aware of it, because if it's reported wrong, people like this person I talked to over the weekend, which I could not convince otherwise, because I said, well, children got it. He goes, yeah, 2 children got it. I go, oh my God, you're like dumb in the head. I didn't tell him that in person, but I said, you know what? Let's not. I just said, I'm not going to do this. So here's again, you could disagree or agree, but this is what you guys need to understand. What's going to happen in the next few weeks is really bad, because coronavirus is bad, but pox with coronavirus is bad. A lot of people are going to get sick, and they're going to be sick all the way through when they combine it with pox. Not that they want to combine it, but it's going to be combined. This is a world situation, okay? And the World Health Organization declaring it as such is enabling certain powers that certain governments have to say, hey, we got to get ahead of it. We need all the vaccines possible that are out there. Now, having said that, a few weeks ago, they said, look, we only have so many to give out. They don't have enough, Jesse. So the fact that they're actually handing it out now here in LA is a really, really bad situation. Let me read it here. And you have to remember, these numbers are low right now, okay, compared to what they will be in the next few months. Okay, so these numbers are a prelude to what will happen eventually. But what you have to understand is the severity of this, okay? Monkeypox is not just blisters on your fingers or in your hands and or your skin. It's also something bad for your body, and it can be deadly. If you're already immunocompromised and or you have HIV or any other thing, you could have cancer technically and have had like treatment for cancer. You do not want this. It will tear away at your cells on the inside, okay? I talked to some very important people and some very, very like smart ones that said, look, people don't have a handle on this. And if they under minimize it, they don't understand how it could spread not just to their own body, but to anyone. Okay, so back to your family. Let's say someone gets coronavirus, right? And they sequester from others. And then, you know, like a few weeks later, someone gets sick with it, right? Where did they get it from? Probably their family member, right? Somebody brought it home. So back to kids at school. I guarantee within the next few months, we're going to have lockdowns again within certain schools because they're going to get a monkeypox outbreak. When kids get it, it's not hard to kind of understand, oh, it's going to be a problem because kids associated with other kids, especially elementary school kids, kindergarten kids, and other kids, right? So it's not a kid disease, it's an everyone disease. Like everyone can get this, right? And that's why I say don't say it's only a gay thing or, you know, as I said, LGBTQ thing. It's not. Now, can it be transmitted that way as well, other than surface of skin? Yes, it can also be transmitted if you have it, and I don't want to be graphic, but if you have it, like let's say you get it on your elbow, and then later on, I don't know, you rub your neck with it, right? That's going to spread to your neck, right? But let's say you touch other parts of your body, knowingly so, right? You got to go to the restroom. You know, like ladies, we know what you touch when you got to wipe down, right? So my point is, could it be spread to the, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to go there right now because this is a G-type show. But do you get where I'm going with this, Jesse? It can spread very easily by you touching a surface that somebody touched as well on an airplane, for example, or the bus or the train, and now you got it on your skin, and now you touch your skin like I am right now, and now you have a problem on your surface of your skin. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Great. Now you're making my my skin itch. Oh my god, the same thing that happened last week. No,
I know, but you need to be aware of it, man. Okay, so that's my point. According to this, health officials say more than 2,800 cases have been reported so far here in just LA. Okay, and that's a problem. Okay, it was just a few as of a few weeks ago. Now it's jumped significantly, and these are the people reporting it that say, wait a minute, what is this? And then they go in, and some people, now if you look at news on the East Coast in New York, it's already an epidemic. Okay, here in LA, it's not an epidemic yet, but what you're saying right now is kind of like news that I think people need to hear because it will become one within the next few weeks. You're not going to want to see anyone that has it, if they even want to tell you. There are going to be some people that cover it up. Maybe it's on their elbows, maybe it's on their face, maybe it's on their, like, anywhere. Just don't spread it, okay? Get over it, get whatever you can to treat it, and then don't spread it, because this is one of those that, unlike chickenpox, it doesn't break out over all your body. It just depends on where you rub it. It'll have an outbreak somewhere, and then hopefully you get ahead of it. But if you are intimate with someone, I guarantee you it's going to be all over the place. So that's why I say just don't, okay? Just don't. It's just horrible. Here in LA, including LA, Orange, San Bernardino, and Ventura. Oh, God, it's in your area, Jesse. Of the U.S. cases, known officials, 8 women were among those with monkeypox. There's a bunch of people, including kids, including men and women, and there you go. They say it can spread quickly, and it's spread through close personal contact and or towels and or bedding or any surface is what they should put. It lives on steel longer than coronavirus. Coronavirus, honestly, around 2 to 3 hours, and this up to 8 hours because it's that resistant. So wipe down everything and wear gloves if you can. But don't wear gloves everywhere. Just wear gloves when you feel like, oh, I feel like it's around. Okay, anyway, we're going to take a quick little break. We'll be back with more right after these messages. Ugh, God. Ugh.
Take KMET 1490 AM with you everywhere you go by downloading our free smartphone apps found on the KMET website, KMET1490am.com. You can also go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store on your phone to download the free app. Now you can listen live or play any of your favorite programmers' podcasts using your smartphone. Go to KMET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
Does shame, guilt, and martyrdom play a part in holding ourselves back from self-love, self-confidence, self-empowerment? Ambika Waters is back. With over 3 million books sold, she offers her 28th, Releasing Shame, Guilt, and Martyrdom. Her body of work includes training programs held in Europe and North America, where she connects her participants to the realms of angels, the importance of chakras, the healing power of color and sound. Ambika Waters, the journey that she has been on, the renowned teacher, artist, and healer, has brought a lifetime of experience to her newest book, Releasing Shame, Guilt, and Martyrdom. How to reframe the past, release your future, the guide to expanding our capacity for unlimited goodness. AmbikaWaters.com, Amazon.com. Love, love, love.
Summer in the Inland Empire. You know what that means. Sunny days and hot temperatures that make you want to stay inside. Franklin Mechanical Systems can repair or replace your air conditioning unit to get it working cool before the heat hits. For cleaning, repair, or a new installation, call them for a free estimate. Franklin Mechanical Systems for all your residential and commercial air conditioning needs. Call their Beaumont office at 951-845-1000. That's 951-845-1000 and get cool today.
World-renowned psychologist, relationship expert, and best-selling author Dr. Carmen Hara hosts Live Now every Friday morning at 9 o'clock on Smart Talk Radio. Dr. Hara offers profound wisdom, practical advice, daily exercises, and empowering predictions, all for you. Experience your own positive transformation as Dr. Hara personally guides you to the answers that you have been seeking. Live Now with Dr. Carmen Hara every Friday morning at 9 o'clock Pacific Time on KMET Radio, podcast by SoundCloud.
Hello, listeners. This is Christopher from The Christopher Show. Hey, if you missed one of our shows here at KMET, don't worry about it. You can go to our webpage, and that's KMET1490am.com. Go to the homepage, click on the SoundCloud tab, and hear any show anytime you want.
That's right. We're back here on the morning show, and I got a question, Jesse. Back to when you went to school, did you ever get certain training when it came to certain diseases, like if you had something on your skin to look out for?
No. Back when I went to school, we didn't. It was absolutely normal. We did not have any of these crazy things happening.
Okay, well, this picture was released recently. Back to something that we were talking about. You kind of need to see it because you need to know what to be aware of. Okay, this is how it starts. Okay, monkeypox cases present with pimple-like lesions. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, I get pimples all the time, right? People get pimples, kids get pimples, teens get pimples. This is a whole different thing, okay? It says the typical evolution of the rash is that the pustules progress to blisters that eventually scab over. According to the American Academy of Dermatology, the rash can be anywhere, including the face and extremities. Dr. Christine Coe, professor of dermatology at Yale University, said early on, monkeypox can look like pustules with redness around them. Additionally, dermatologists describe red rashes in the genital or groin area. Coe said the monkeypox rash can also look like swelling under the skin and redness associated with that. Now remember, it's not just the groin area. That's if you touch it. It hand, can happen on your face, can happen on your arms, just by rubbing against someone or something that has the virus on it. Okay, that's what I want to get spread out. I don't want people to think this is like HIV, which is through transmission of fluids. Okay, that's a whole other thing. This one is kind of morphed into a multitude of things, all right? So don't think it's an HIV thing. But if you have HIV, you want to get tested because you would be more prone to this than people that don't have it. But anyone can get it. Kids that are healthy, teens that are healthy, anyone can get it, man and a woman. So don't believe all the hype about, oh, this is only a gay thing. It's not the reality. That's what they need to stop spreading, because people are going to think, well, I'm not, so I'm not going to get it. No, it doesn't matter. Grandma, grandpa can get it if they just rub across the surface of a kid who touched a handle when you want to go to the restroom of Walmart, Jesse. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, that's you know what? Yeah, I don't touch a lot of things when I go out, so I'm kind of glad I have that kind of, not necessarily phobia. I just don't like messing with things that aren't mine. I don't like touching things that aren't mine.
Yeah.
So, there's some people that go into the store and touch everything.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, what are you doing?
Yep. Back to the person who saw someone at Walmart and said that to my mom and said, I can't believe I saw that in person, okay? And that was early last week, right? According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, monkeypox lasts anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. Now, I will say this is information that I always say they are behind on. I'm like, what experts are you talking to? I talked to 3 experts, and they said it goes from anywhere from 1 week, depending on the person, to as much as 8 weeks, okay? It just depends on the person. Now, there's usually one of several resurgences. What I mean by that is this. You may get fine within the next, like in the first few weeks, but there'll be a resurgence a few weeks later. Anyone that's ever had like a cold sore or a rash of some sort, usually it goes away, right? This one comes back again because it lives under the skin. That's how bad it gets. So you might be fine, kind of like back in the day of chickenpox. Once you get it, you have the outbreak for, anywhere from like a week to a few weeks, but you usually are fine. The only resurgence of it is like years later, right? Like as a kid, many people get chickenpox. They kind of stay home. They don't go out. They don't want to spread it to other kids, right? Measles is kind of a reality as well. I don't think I ever got the measles, but there's certain things for that. This is a whole other thing. So the vaccine is good, but it's not great because it's a new morphed version of monkeypox. That's another bit of the news they're not saying, but they should say. That way people are aware that they need to be ahead of it. If and when they run out of this vaccine, people are going to get a little scared because it's going to be a thing that spreads very quickly and very fast. You can have it, not know it. You could have a fever. You can have, as they call it here, your lymph nodes can swell up. That's kind of a thing. It happens differently in different people, but it depends where it's spread to, okay? Now, recently, it got next level. We were reporting monkeypox, I want to say a month to a month and a half ago, before it was declared by the World Health Organization. They were determining, do we declare this as a thing or as a problem? And the answer is, well, that's what happened over the weekend. So the reason you need to understand this is because the news is still coming out. But there are very smart scientists that say it's being reported wrong. And the reason it's being reported wrong is that you have, let's put it this way. Let's say your mom, okay? Your mom goes, I don't know, to school, picks up a kid from the district, and the kid's itching their face, right? Now the kid goes, Mom, can I maybe, have a popsicle because I'm feeling a little hot, right? Now, she's not going to think it. She's like, yeah, sure, let's get you some ice cream, right? Now, the kid goes to the store, gets a popsicle, and now anywhere from, 3 to 8 people touch the same surfaces that kid touched. Now, your mom, she'll probably get sick. Well, that's the question. If you go see your family within the next few weeks, will you get sick? The answer, that depends. What you touch, where you rub, and how quickly she sanitizes everything, right? If you have monkeypox, stay away from other people. The problem is, it's a slow roll. So what I mean by that is you'll have it for a few days, you won't know it, and you'll infect a bunch of people, but they won't know. That's why they do contact tracing. Sometimes they call people. Recently, they called a few people out of the blue and said, you may have been exposed to monkeypox, because they want to kind of stop it. But they will not stop it because, honestly, back in 2020 when we did a full lockdown, and this is not going to be popular, but I'm going to have to say it, if they did a lockdown for at least 3 weeks of monkeypox and made the same available things that they did in 2020 to people, like, hey, we're going to pay your bills, we're going to take care of it, all you have to do is kind of apply here, simple, easy breezy, then we'd be ahead of it. It's an outbreak that needs to be contained now, okay? New Zealand's done it. I think Taiwan's done it. And I want to say the word like eradicated. They minimize it so much when there's an outbreak, there's not a problem for the rest of the people. But they have things ready to go for the people so that people are not suffering, being evicted, or, you know what I mean? Like losing their job, because everybody's in it to get ahead of it. That's why areas like Asia and other areas like Japan and Australia, they've done it, and they do it for the people. So that's the only thing we're not going to see here in the U.S. because everybody's campaigning. If Biden does that, I say yay. If he doesn't, just be aware it could be spread very quickly and very, like, in a really bad way. I will say some people want to meet up, and if they have this like little like oh, it's not a big thing, or it's a kind of like this person said over the weekend, I go, you know what? I don't want to be around you because you're the kind of person that will get me sick because you'll probably get it, right? So there you go. It says lymph nodes can become enlarged, usually at the time of fever, and can become involved a few days before the appearance of any rash. They said redness in the groin or genital area with painful swellings, which are lymph nodes, can be concerning for monkeypox, especially in the setting of rectal pain. It's bad, people. Dr. Warren Heyman, who's a professor of medicine and pediatrics, head of the division of dermatology at Cooper Medical School of Rowan University, said if you have something on yourself, especially in the genital area or anywhere, they got to stop reporting it. Oh, it's only like, a guy thing. It's not. It's a guy and or girl thing. Make sure you get it checked out before you have sex, okay? And that's important because you will spread it in that way. It says I love what it says. Don't panic, but that's a cute panic, okay? Monkeypox is a public health emergency. And you got to be careful of it, okay? There's a lot of things to look out for, but you do not want it, all right? It says keep an eye out for blistering rashes. If you have one that's unexplained, if you have any systematic illness with the blistering rash, you need to keep contact to a minimum until it is assessed by a healthcare professional. They're not ready for this, by the way. When you go, they're going to probably keep you outside. They do not want to admit you because you can get every patient sick right there and then. They need to wear suits. They need to wear hazmats. They need to be aware of it, ahead of it, and they're not. But there you go. But that's what we are living in, the time of whatever you want to call it. Anyway, we got to see you tomorrow here on the show. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is live it well. Bye-bye, everyone. All right, I'm just gonna stay just a very little while because I got something to do. We got our shower not working. I'm not gonna lie, it is a pain in the butt, but hopefully we'll get it fixed. Okay, now, very important. What I want you guys to know is this: it's a problem in so many ways. They're not ready for it. I very rarely say, like in any public forum thing, what I feel about things, but you gotta take it serious. Okay, that's number one. Number two, if you come in contact with it, you want to minimize it by putting a bandage on it and kind of minimizing surface contact, okay? If you got to rub, make sure you have something on it. Don't rub with your hands because your hands will spread it to other areas. See, I'm already itching just thinking about it. And if it rubs to other areas, if like, let's say, okay, I have a Coke bottle here, right? Let's say I had it right here, right? Or let's just go with what most people get it probably on the neck and or the arm, right? Oddly enough, a lot of people will get it on the arm. So let's say we get it right here, right? And I touch this, and then I drink this, and then I put it down. Now, somebody else takes the can, and they remove it from this area, right? Well, the problem with that is going to be it lives on surfaces for a while, right? So now who's going to get it? You get it? So that's how bad it is, okay? That's why I say it's not a gay thing. It's a everyone thing. It affects everyone. So if you get that in your head, you understand very quickly anyone can get it. You don't have to have sex with someone infected. It's not like HIV. HIV is that way. This is not. Okay. And I don't know who's doing the reporting, but they're reporting wrong because anyone can get it. In Africa, men, women, and children get it without having sex. Just so you know. Okay. But there'll be a problem with kids and parents who have a kid to be born. Okay, that's the news that they're not talking about. But if you have a pregnancy coming, all right, or you think you're pregnant, be careful with that. Okay, you do not want to get this. Okay, because it will spread to your kid in a really bad way. This is how things like polio start. Okay, now I mentioned smallpox, and I didn't talk a lot about it because they haven't mentioned it. But there is reports about smallpox being a thing. Monkeypox and smallpox are two completely different viruses. Okay, when they treat them kind of the same, it doesn't work. Okay, when they combine them in the vaccine, it's kind of like a smallpox and monkeypox. That's different, but some people will get a treatment of smallpox shots thinking it's good for monkeypox. It's not. It's completely different. Those that understand monkeypox know it's completely different. Okay, the World Health Organization that have members sent out, like in places like, you know, third world countries and anywhere around the world, kind of understand that, but they're not really kind of saying that right now because it's such an outbreak of such like proportion that it's going to be a bad thing for the next few months. Okay, you're not going to want to come across anyone that's infected, and you're definitely not going to want to bring it home. Okay, I told this to my mom. I said, look, if I have an outbreak, I'm not coming home. Okay, I will rent a motel and figure it out there or something. I will go somewhere else because I do not want to bring it back because I do not want to hurt you in the end. This will kill people. That's what they're not reporting. All the reporting is that it's on the surface of your skin. Okay, it's a bad problem. Is it painful? Yes. Will it go away? Yes, but it'll resurface within a few months. Okay, that's the problem with monkeypox. That's why you don't want it. Okay, I'm itching just thinking about it. Anyway, my point is this. Just like this can, I touch it. There's nothing having to do with me having sex with a can. Does that make sense? Now, back to area. If it's on your elbow and you touch it and you touch elsewhere, like you have to clean yourself or you get it, it's going to be a problem. So that's how it gets from one area to other areas. So if you do have a outbreak, you're not going to know about it for a few days. Anywhere for 3 to 4, maybe even 5 days. You're not going to know about it until it pops up on the skin. Then you're going to say, what's that pimple? That's the problem. So I'm going to bring this back up as a picture because it's kind of broad. And if you were in school, you kind of remember these type of pictures. But this is a version of pox. Okay? Now, smallpox is a whole other thing. But we're talking about monkeypox. Okay? There's a reason you need to be aware of this because it's really, 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 really bad. Okay? Now, what will it turn into eventually? Now, some people have skin conditions, which is why they keep quoting certain dermatologist type places. But it's not a typical thing. And some people have these, but it's not monkeypox. It's just this. It may form into this eventually. Okay? Now, this is a picture of the monkeypox virus in India, by the way, on July 16th. It's already an outbreak there, okay? Health workers screen passengers arriving from high-risk countries for symptoms of monkeypox in India. Okay, that's what that picture is, okay? That one's making the news circuit. That's a problem, okay? That person, does he know he has monkeypox? I think the answer is no, because it starts off small like this. Now, what you need to know is this. It may start off as simple, and by the way, in London, the UK, it's already hit about 70-some countries, by the way. That's why it's an epidemic, okay? They're not saying it yet, but they probably will within, I don't know, a few weeks or something. I don't know. It'll probably be, they usually call it that word endemic. I go, well, that makes people think it's going to be the end of a pandemic. It's not, but whatever. I call it an epidemic. This here is how small it can start. Now, this is a photo of someone in London. This was taken July 15th, 2022. And that's just a little bump on the hand surface. But the problem with that bump is it's highly contagious. You touch maybe this can bottle or maybe the handle of a restroom, you're going to have a problem with other people getting it eventually. It does not need to be transmitted through what I call fluids, okay? It doesn't have to be that. It's just on the skin. Do you see why this problem is happening and how it's kind of being reported in a really bad way? If you keep at least this in your mind, you'll be ahead of it, okay? Wear gloves, okay? I used to have to take the transit system because our vehicle, like, well, I was in a bad car accident, but the vehicle totaled, whatever. So I was out of a vehicle for a few months, right? And I had to take the public, like, transportation system, which I'm not going to lie, was really great because it was free, right? Because of coronavirus, thank God. But also a nightmare because there were so many people on the bus that were A, homeless, B, just going from place to place, and C, coughing all over the place. I was like, they make you wear, man. Thankfully, they have masks on. And one person, he was not wearing his mask. He was like, people were like, wear a mask, you dummy. I mean, they were really at the guy. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to create a scene. But I went and got the because I had my N95 on. I would say wear N95s. They're basically like this, right? Wear your N95s. Don't fight it. Okay, some people are fighting. I go, why are you fighting it? I'm like, your pox is here, man. You did not want that. Okay, you just put this on. Boom, right? So I had that. And then I went and got kind of the rinky dink ones. I'm like, something's better than nothing. And I gave him a few. I said, just, put this on. He's like, oh, okay, thank you. Because he didn't, have one or whatever. He just got on the bus and, whatever. But with monkeypox, people can get a little, like, probably in the next few months because when people get it, whether you're a man, girl, child, anyone, grandma, grandpa, and you get it, you're going to feel like, what the hey, all right? And people will die from it. It's not just a skin thing, okay? Doctors will probably report on it in the next few weeks saying, don't get it, it's deadly. They don't have, A, enough vaccines to go around, and B, the vaccines are kind of outdated. They kind of put these together really quick based on certain pox that was out, but it's morphed because it's spread through human contact, animal contact, and other, okay, to anyone and everyone, okay? So the problem is going to be in the next few months, there's going to be such an outbreak. The numbers aren't even going to tell what it does because they're going to say, in essence, these are the reported cases. But there's going to be a lot of people that don't go to the doctor, still have it, and they'll say, oh, I'll be fine with it. I'll get ahead of it. Because they're going to see the reports and they say, I don't have time, so they're going to take it to, you get where I'm going with this? They're going to go to work, they're going to go to all these places, they're going to be like, I'm fine, and they're going to spread it to everyone. It's an outbreak, people. Okay? It's the second outbreak of the world. When have we ever had an outbreak like this? Now, I know some people are going to spin it in another way. Oh, this is gold. No. That's probably going to happen in the next few weeks. But it's going to be squashed so quick because when it spreads, it's on the surface. With coronavirus, a lot of people don't report it. Some people do. But a lot of people don't. And so there are people that go, no, it's still... I go, dude, even Trump, the guy you support, got coronavirus. Sure, he got ahead of it. He got well, thank God. But if he had pox on the skin and he had it on the surface, well, A, it will go down, but can he transmit it to his family and or other people he hangs around? Yes. All right? Monkeypox is bad. A, it lives in your body once you get it, which is why you don't want it. And B, it continues on and resurfaces at least 3 times. When it resurfaces, it usually takes anywhere from a few weeks to a month, maybe to a few months. And when it resurfaces, it gets blistery, worse. Okay, that second picture I showed is a mild case. Okay, let me show you because it's bad. This is called mild. All right, that's mild. Bad case, you don't even want to know. All right, bad case is usually a resurface of it within 3 months, and it's bad. Okay, the pictures I show don't even kind of like give you a full sense of it. Okay, this is actually a mild version of it as well, but it's bad. Okay, and they could pop, and when they pop, it's not fun. Okay, because it gets pussy. Will it become painful? Oh yeah, it's really painful. I can't even describe the pain that it is. Okay, you don't want it. You don't want it. That is still a mild form of it. Okay, the only way to kind of get it through to your head, actually, let me show you this. This is going to be a common thing people are going to see. This is why I say don't get it on your hands. If you ever got a blister on your hand because you might have, like, I don't know, like I got monkey bars. Like I remember doing that once or twice, and I was like, you know, you get like a blister on your hand because the skin comes off. That's different. It kind of looks like that, but it's not that. Okay, and this spreads to your whole body. Okay, this picture is of a little child because, you know, the child doesn't know, right? Let's see if I can bring it up. I don't think I'm bringing it up. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it. Yep, here it is. If you understand how bad it gets, this is how it gets, and you don't want to shake hands with anyone at this point. Okay, that's how bad it gets. Now, that's a little child that got it, probably for his mom or his pa, right? That's bad. Okay. And that is a photo, honestly. Oh, it reached Fresno County. Yeah, there you go. That's here in California, by the way. Yeah, it's bad, people. People usually look at these pictures and they go, oh, that's Africa. Not anymore. It's bad. All right? It gets blistery. It gets bad. It's just, you don't want it. You don't want it. All right? It's bad. And some people have extreme cases of it, but when it spreads on the hands like this, it goes anywhere and everywhere. Wherever that kid touches, he wants gloves. That's my point. You need gloves. It'll itch like crazy, so you gotta have something on your on like the surface to kind of minimize it. I would probably put a lot of aloe vera and other stuff that minimizes that, but it's bad. Okay, it's just horrendous. Here is a very... This actually looks more like this picture, although... I'm not going to show that one because it kind of... People think it's measles. I'm going to show that one. There's a lot of different pictures. You just Google it. You'll find it. I haven't been really sharing too many pictures because I don't want people... Well, I'll share this one again. Alright, this is how it starts first on the body. Okay, it's different with everyone, but these are the things to look out for when you get it. Okay, it's not normal. You'll think it's just like a little rash or a couple pimples. Like, okay, I get pimples all the time, right? People do, but if it forms like this on the body, that's bad. Okay, that's an outbreak. Now, some will say, wait, do I have chickenpox? It's worse than chickenpox. It's like 8 times worse than chickenpox. That's what you need to know. All right, it's bad. You don't want it. All right, you don't want it. It's bad. Let's see how Genius says this. Glad you're showing the real photos. People, teenagers aren't taking serious overseas. I believe it. No one's taking serious, honestly. I have people like traveling in Europe. It's already an outbreak. In New York, it's already an outbreak. Just now we're hearing about it here in California as a bad thing. If you do the research on the East Coast, they had set up websites to be able to get your appointment to get the vaccination or the pox vaccination, whatever they're calling it, and the websites crashed because so many people were like, is that what I have? So people are scared on the East Coast. Okay, that's New York. All right, New York is always among the first to get an outbreak because city, right? People kind of on surface streets, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, don't want to think about it. Jeannie says this, you have to quarantine quickly. That's true. It says even with kids, so no one can catch. If you have a 4-bedroom, put all in individual's room. I'm glad I don't have little kids, one son home in 20s. Yeah, that's going to be a thing, all right? And that's what people need to understand. It's bad, okay? So be careful, be aware of it, and then just know it's not a gay thing. You got to stop saying that, people. All right, I've already heard a few people say that, including a friend of my mom's, and I'm like, you see, that's the problem with the news. They're reporting it wrong. We don't report it wrong. It's an everyone thing. You can get this just by touching a surface. Oh, you know, this is a perfect example of it. All right, this is like a resurgence of it, actually. And people will get scarred by it, but hopefully you won't die from it, is kind of the thing. Hopefully you won't die. Okay, here's another photo, and this is how bad it gets on the shoulders, okay? Now, I have skin problems. I've always had skin problems ever since I was a kid. But they usually go away, okay? This is a whole other thing, okay? Now, that doesn't look as bad, but it gets worse. It gets brown, it gets bloody, and it gets just nasty. All right, it's bad. But that's on the surface of the skin, okay? That's a awareness that, hey, I have it. I do not want to give it to you because, trust me, you're not going to want to get it, okay? There is no immunity against this at this point. Now, will there be in the next year or so? I say yes. There's a lot of very good scientists working on this because it's such a bad thing that they're getting ahead of this by getting the vaccine up to par in the next few months. But they're not there yet, okay? It's morphed. And I almost guarantee, just like coronavirus has morphed, and they said, oh, we're going to be ahead of it. What if we're not? Now, there's different ones like alpha, beta, and they had them kind of determined really quick. Like, okay, we need these numbers, kind of like, perfect example, what's that one that everybody gets, but they don't think much about anymore? Goodness. Hepatitis. Hepatitis A, B, C, right? If they just had done that, it would have been easier, but whatever. My point is this. There are different versions of hepatitis. You don't treat hepatitis A the same as C. All right? You just don't. Okay? There's different cancers. Okay? Think of this not like cancer, but cancer is in the body. This is on the body, right? They call it melanoma or something like that. But this is worse than that, okay? Because what happens in the body is it attacks certain very vital organs of the body. What people don't know is it'll attack the liver and it'll attack the kidneys. And in people that actually die in the next year or so that have this, yeah, it's that bad. If you were to dissect the liver and or the kidney, you would see these pustules on that as well. That's how bad it gets. Okay, so the surface is basically a warning to say, I need treatment. All right? But you don't want it because once you have it, you don't have the immunity for it, really. Will people get well from it? Yes. Now, certain estimates that are being estimated upon, and I said estimates way back in March of 2020. There's some news ones that are on our Facebook and our YouTube channel which kind of show that I was saying this. There were a couple reports that came out really quick, and then they got like, all of a sudden, where are they at? And these were the reports that Trump even admitted to seeing, but he didn't want to cause panic, right? So he admitted, like, I think in June or July when he got called out on it. And they're like, but did you know these numbers? He goes, well, yeah, but I don't want to cause panic. You were the one saying, we'll be fine, we'll be fine. And I get that. You want to be like the cool head. But you should have enacted certain protections for people. Now, will they enact certain protections for this? That depends. If Biden wants to win the presidency, one of two things will happen. A, he will do the right thing, or B, he'll do the dumb thing. Okay, I'm going to call that out right now. The reason I say that is this. He already has coronavirus. Whichever one he has coronavirus, right? They're saying, oh, he's fine, he's fine, he's fine. Hopefully he will be fine. I hope he is fine. But at the end of the day, is he showing attention to pox? The answer, yes, and we'll see. Now, if they say lockdown, then we understand. But will people fight it? Yeah, they always fight it. It's dumb. You don't want this, all right? When it gets to be a problem, it will be a problem among people that are in contact with other people that have it and don't even know they have it. But it could be grandma, it could be grandpa, it could be kids at school, okay? Now, the reason I say this, be aware of it. If you have and or see, you're going to want to report it immediately, especially if you have kids at school that get it. You want to report that to the school, and you want the school district to report that to the rest of the county. I guarantee that's coming up next. When they have a monkeypox outbreak, it's going to be bad. Okay? Now, back to pregnancy. If you are with this and you have a baby on the way, it will affect the baby. Okay? Be prepared for it. This is how kids get polio down the line. Back to smallpox. Monkeypox is like smallpox, but it's not 100% like. But it'll create polio-like diseases. That's how polio starts. In the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, we had a problem with polio. Kids came out deformed. Not all, but some. Some had a problem with their legs. Some had a problem with their limbs. Some had a problem developmentally. Okay? You need to be aware of it. The reason I know this is because my mom got German measles from someone at church. Okay? That person had the measles, and then she got it. You know, it's church. I mean, big deal, right? Then it affected the baby in her womb, which she got, known as rubella. So if you do the science and you do the investigation like I have, then you'll understand these things are something that you do not want to spread, and you do not want your family to get. Which is why I say minimize contact when you have an idea of this, okay? It's going to be difficult, but be aware of it. Just plan for fun at home, okay? Minimize activities, and if you have to go out, come on, worst case scenario, right? And or long sleeve shirts and possibly gloves, okay? I had my mom put some packages together with some face masks to always have, so I could just, have it ready to go if I feel that there's a problem in a area, right? But be careful. Some people will be like, wow, you're so... I say, I'm not getting monkeypox. And then they'll get it a few weeks later. All right, the people that are less safe with it will probably get it more than not. Those that don't get it, thank God. But the people that are careless already are probably going to get it. If you can, carry hand sanitizer, right? Just carry some type of sanitizer. Wipes are good, by the way. Invest in wipes, because this is bad. I'm not becoming an alarmist. I'm just becoming, hey, by the way, we've been talking about this for a few weeks. It's no wonder that the World Health Organization has said, hey, by the way, this is a problem, okay? When they declare this, it's a problem, okay? Did they know 1 million people would die? Well, that depends. By some estimates, at least here in the U.S., if Trump didn't do what he did by putting at least a 3-week lockdown, we probably would have at least a faster contagion people. This is a good movie on this, by the way, with Matt Damon. Watch it, Contagion. But we probably would have been at the current total 1.8 million dead. Right now, we're hovering about 1.3 million in the U.S. because of coronavirus, right? There's some reporting not done. There's some people that died from other things. I think the number is actually higher if they did the autopsies properly and say, okay, does the person have coronavirus, right? And they have a way of doing it, but, whatever. They're kind of inundated. My point is this. Don't get it, okay? Now, with monkeypox, it's a problem for the world just as coronavirus is. What you forget about, and a lot of people do, at least here in the U.S., is that the world has to suffer from coronavirus, right? And those numbers are anywhere from 6.8 to about 7. Anywhere from 6.8 to 7, right? Conservatively, that are dead because of coronavirus. Million with an N. All right, that's probably one of the biggest outbreaks since it's been a while. Okay, but monkeypox is bad. Now, if monkeypox mixes with coronavirus, it's even worse. Okay, people in Africa had just monkeypox. A lot of them didn't have coronavirus with monkeypox. That's why I say we're not ahead of it. That's why the science will come out and they'll say, hey, we got more vaccines, especially in February, March, and April. When that happens, make sure you are among the first to get it, because it is such a problem. The world is going, where's our vaccine for this? Okay, are they going to mix the coronavirus one with this one? No way, Jose. Not going to happen. It's completely different. Okay? So be aware of it, be ahead of it, and be safe out there. All right, people, I'm out of time. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well, and be safe through it all. Okay.